The AL Manager of the Year, we both have Stephen Vogt here, and I think this is a no-brainer. The way he made the Guardians come back and get into the playoffs, you know, and also dealing with the Class A and Ortiz stuff in the midst of all of that. So he somehow still got his guys to go out and play every night in the midst of that controversy since, well, Ortiz was what, June? And then Class A couple months later. So for me, I think this is a slam dunk Stephen Vogt.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with for all the same reasons. I mean, I at first I picked Schneider. I'm like, this is Schneider. You know, that team. That's a huge worst to first. That's a huge
I mean,
turnaround.
yes.
And then I'm really thinking about it. I'm like, well, Stephen Vogt had to deal with the Ortiz situation, the Class A situation. He had to keep these guys focused as they began to kind of sell off pieces. They had to, they had to overcome that massive deficit, which that massive comeback is as much the Tigers falling apart as it was the Guardians playing well. But
Fair.
they were what, 19-4 in September. So I mean,
Yeah.
you got to give credit where credit is due. So I came back to Vote, and I'm like, I have to, I can't not give it to him because when you look at the crap hand he was dealt, he did
Hmm.
an awful lot with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, I forgot the piece that they sold at the deadline too. And we're
Right.
trying to move on from Stephen Kwan, but they just didn't like the package. And you know what? They still made the playoffs.
They,
So
they were
yeah.
calling up guys in July and August to fill roster holes. I mean, it was
Yeah.
not pretty there for a while.
No. Yeah. So Stephen Vogt for the AL for both of our picks. We'll move over to the NL. I have Pat Murphy winning again, and but I love your pick here with Tito Francona getting to the Reds to the playoffs to scrimmage the Dodgers in the first round.
So, yeah, I mean, and I'm actually shocked you didn't pick Tito because you might be the only person that likes Tito more than I do. But
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, to me, it's Pat Murphy and Tito. It's only those two guys that are really in contention here. And I feel like with Pat Murphy last year, he got it because that team was really kind of, you just lost Corbin Burns. You had Woodruff was out for the year. Like that team ended up
Yeah.
being good considering you were losing big pieces. This year, I feel like that team was they were expected to compete. They weren't expected to win the division, that's for sure, but they're expected to compete.
Or have the best record in the NL. Period.
Correct. Nobody saw them having the best record or winning that division. I think everybody thought they would be good, probably get in the playoffs and that'd be okay. So I feel like did he outperform? Yes. I look at what Tito did with a young team of a bunch of, a lot of raw young talented guys that were not supposed to be there yet that got there in part because the Mets fell apart because they meted, but also because like that team had a good second half. Like they didn't quit when they fell under 500. They just kept battling. And I think a lot of that is Tito. Tito got off to a bit of a rocky start there in April and May. There were people questioning if he could do it. And then that team turned as he got settled in, and they all got settled in. And so to me, I think Tito had far less to work with than Pat Murphy did, and was able to get that team to play every day, which we thought he would. So for me, I took Tito because I feel like he outperformed to a larger extent than Pat Murphy, but both of those guys deserve massive credit for what they did this year.
Yeah, I'm with you. As you said, we're both huge Tito guys. And when we heard of this hiring last offseason, we were like, hell yeah, this is the guy the Reds need to get over the hump. Now, we were both on record saying they're probably 2, maybe 3 years out. Like Tito's really got to get in there and sink his claws in. And then this Reds team is going to be a force to be reckoned with. I did not see them making the playoffs like they did. Yes, Carlos Mendoza and the Mets really helped. Um, in a bad way, but good for the Reds. But yeah, I mean, I'm ultimately with you. I think this is Tito Francona's. I just put Pat Murphy here just to be a little bit different. And the fact that the Brewers weren't supposed to have the best record in the NL. Were they supposed to be good? Yeah. Were they supposed to be the best? No. The 120 win Dodgers in the NL West were supposed to be. But
Yeah.
they're playing chess. Everyone else is playing checkers. I get it. Whatever. That tired
They're
story. But
they're playing chess, everybody else is playing like Parcheesi. It's not even close, man.
yeah,
It ain't close.
absolutely fair. Absolutely fair. But all right.
big credit to both those guys because it's
1,000%.
pretty incredible
Yep.
what they were able to accomplish.